Sacred Grief, Cultural Vandalism, and Clan Donald. How to quantify something so deeply personal as sadness? There's such a vast range of intensity, different overtones and undertones to the feeling. Our bodies react differently. We may often encounter a more casual, everyday, momentary sad, the sort that make us say, too bad, or that's a shame. Perhaps the expired worm on the sidewalk or dropped child stuffy soaking in the rain, quietly waiting to be found again. A bit of an entry point where our sadness is offered in a single brief moment, not felt much deeper than a tickle touch. Beautifully and horrendously, a human's capability to grieve plummets right off the deep end from there. Our mind likes to draw in, attempting to reason the unreasonable, thrashing about alongside a heart truly, completely breaking in its precious entirety. Some ineffable part of our spirit may feel very much to be dying, and perhaps it is. When tragedy strikes the innocent, when injustice and harm continue despite all best efforts, when lives are cut much too short, or suffering is too great for anyone to bear. There is a pervasive flavor of despair that can overpower even the most resilient among us. Grief here often feels greater than can be endured, somehow infinitely larger than us, and each uniquely pained, no matter the shared experience. The sum of our sadness might blanket us with more than parts of our own lived experience. Communal mourning when deep loss sweeps through a small town, or sidelines tight-knit groups, tribes, and clans, wraps our senses with additional weight. Here, if we're fortunate, many hearts can help share in the carrying of it. With no rhyme or reason, woe can flit in and out like a wren hopping branches in the hedgerow, or it might slow linger like molasses, seeping through our pores and coloring all our thoughts. Ancestral lineages, by nature, easily collect in force over time. Lived experiences produce shared stories as a social record, gene expression and inexplicable knowings as a physical record of heritage experience in our bodies, and leaves subtle energetic shifts, charges, or imprints. If it were an ocean current of warm water, enduring our own deep grief slipstreams us into the greater collective flow. It will keep on going, too, long after we've eddied out. A larger collective experience of sorrow across geographical space as well as time. Clearances, genocide, martyrs, iconoclasts, and cultural vandals, poisoners of the earth. What makes grief sacred? There's something right in mourning, for bearing witness, for honoring that which innately deserves honoring. Not the suffering that can destroy us completely. I won't dangerously offer the love and light, there's a reason for everything, positive think speak, and diminish the wretchedness of depressive realities. But what is loss without being missed? What is injustice without a stance against it? What is life without reverence? What is an atrocity without anyone attending the healing? Due to the sheer volume, truly uncountable ways inherent within ceramic creative processes that can result in sudden disaster for any precious labor of love, the 40-hour sgraffito, the feat of height thrown into an urn, or a delicately sculptured chalice Advice oft passed from seasoned potter to green mudworker is, don't get attached to your pieces, for surely you'll be regularly disappointed. I always chose the opposite. No, I'd defiantly say, I'll fall in love with every single piece I make and mourn each disaster appropriately. Behind our guild lay what we lovingly called the Field of Broken Dreams, a midden of modern ceramic shards, broken and discarded future archaeological evidence of that bowl ruined by pitted glaze or an S-cracked plate. Sometimes I'd feel sympathy for a dribbling teapot and bring it home to live forever in the garden. I would say grief is made sacred not only for the simple act of it being felt, but also in how we tend to it. In our autumnal Equinox 2025 edition, I wrote Holy Rage, Ancestral Rites, and Clan Donald. You're welcome to listen to my audio telling of it by scanning the QR code at the top of this article or by finding the Raven Tongue Publishing channel on YouTube. One of the things I learned as an attachment-style parent was to watch for when anger turns to sadness. We shift the distance volatility generates into a space more receptive to closeness. It's then that children will let us hug them close. It's an outward showing of internal emotional movement. This past quarter, my rage more often gave way to deep ancestral grief, made sacred through clan-wide mourning in our Scottish homelands and around the world as diaspora continue the battle to not only save our spiritual home, memorial grounds, genealogy center, castle ruins, museum, but the crofting lands of the Slate community. The Clan Donald Lands Trust, CDLT, whose deeds and charitable aims were to preserve and protect our heritage in perpetuity, has put every last bit of it on the real estate chopping block, with nothing but vague ideas to the care of priceless cultural pieces, and no provisions for clansfolk to continue traditions of visiting close family and historical memorials. No warning, no consultation, no permission, no comprehensive assessment, no accountability to clan members, nor even CDLT lifetime members. All conveniently just ahead of sweeping new Scottish land reform laws take effect. And somehow, despite evidence of misgovernance, irregularities, and more, even passing initial charity regulation investigation, it's drawn the attention of private and corporate buyers eager to own a piece of someone else's ancestral history, while local crafters weren't given due process. Long-held annual society gatherings were cancelled, and the gates locked descendants out early. We're watching precious living culture being cashed in on nearly as it happens in real time. For many in the Slate community and Scottish Clan Donald folks, these threats to Armidale hold a direct and life-changing impact. They're also resurfacing old ancestral wounds of clearances, extortion, and forced famine within the diaspora around the world. A severe dividing line has been etched through the world's largest clan, with words like traitor and cultural vandalism being spoken with truly felt passion. Alliances have fractured. Curses have been laid. Shame has been cast. Legal consultation for potential class action is being sought, and calls for the expulsion of CDLT trustees from positions of authority ring loud. As of this writing, the dotted line hasn't yet been signed, but the pen is poised. The cavalry doesn't appear to be coming. They're many months too late, anyway. It stokes the fires of holy rage for certain, and also aches in bone-deep sorrow as we lament, not only for Armadale, but for our heritage sites across Scotland being sold to foreign interests, for the current and historic effects of stolen land on Turtle Island, for war-imposed evacuations, for third world corporate slavery, for loss of language, stories, and traditions. A sense of truly knowing where we come from and who we are as a people among peoples, for a sense of belonging. Much of tending to my grief has been done alone or in the company of ancestral spirits. Full blubbering, sobbing breakdowns, prayers, cairn and altar work. But some of it has been alongside other grieving clansfolk. Boots on the ground, coordinated collective action helps channel and move otherwise paralyzing sadness into something outwardly useful towards our purpose. Group meditations, intention setting, and nervous system co-regulation, animistically building relationships with stones from our ancestral lands, calling on our ancestors for support, embracing a mindset of curiosity and learning regional slang, telling our stories. There's a real sense of failing our descendants as well as our ancestors. It doesn't negate it, but building a newfound sense of clanship amid travesty does come with an air of something sacred.